Hello, good afternoon to everyone. Today I'm going to talk about learning and children. So, today, most parents are very concerned about children going in for classes other than school curriculum. And it's a very healthy habit that they are interested that their children learn much more than what is taught in school. But in the process, what happens is they inadvertently motivate the children or encourage the children to start becoming competitive in a very unhealthy manner. The process of learning should always be something which is enjoyable and which nourishes and enriches the individual or the child who is in the process of learning. But when parents inadvertently, subconsciously start pushing them towards performing better, performing well at the annual conference of the music class or the guitar class or whichever academy they are going into, if parents are pushing them to write other exams, which is also very popular nowadays, inadvertently the joy of learning is vanishing, disappearing slowly, and the child starts experiencing stress and the need to perform, the need to excel. Now once they get into that kind of a track, then the joy of learning is lost. And if the joy of learning is lost, then the enrichment and the nourishment that we are expecting from the various kinds of learning is also defeated. So, what is very important is we need to firstly understand that yes, today we are talking a lot about multiple intelligence, as a result of which the child is definitely having the capacity to learn much more than the regular academic learning. This is point number one. Point number two is while it is very important for us to explore the potentials of the child by registering the child for various classes or by observing the child in his or her free time about what he is interested in which activity he indulges in, which activity he gets immersed in, it is all these things are important, but we also need to always keep in mind that first we need to recognize if the child is capable of learning in a structured environment or an unstructured environment. Many times I hear parents when they come to me, they complain saying that the child goes for a particular class for a couple of months and then loses interest and stops going, and then they need to search for another hobby class. Now this happens because of various reasons. One, the child does not want to have a competitive field or a competitive environment and backs out, or the child, instead of enjoying there, has somehow been made to become conscious of his level or his ability in the class in comparison with the peers, and that makes the child uncomfortable. Some children, by nature, would like to explore certain activities for a small period of time and then move on to another activity. So, there is nothing wrong if the child gets bored and the child wants another activity. So, this is one area. Another aspect that we need to be aware of is many times children enjoy learning in an unstructured environment. As it is, they go to a school which is a typically structured environment, and there is 6 hours of structured environment. And after that, most children also go for tuition classes. So when they attend tuition classes, that is also more or less a structured class. So if we once again put them into another hobby class which is structured, many children resist. They may throw tantrums, they may absent themselves, or they would not want to go, they would go late, they would forget to come back and tell the parents what it is all about. So they can respond or they can give us signals in various ways, and it is up to the parents to pick it up. So we need to first recognize whether the child is capable of learning in a structured environment or an unstructured environment. Now, the structured environment is fairly easy to understand. So, you take your child, register the child for a painting class. If you find the child is not good at painting, you pull the child out and register the child for a music class or a tennis class, and then you would be able to recognize where he or she fits in, and the classes continue, the child gets trained, and there's a lot of learning happening. What happens when the child wants to learn in an unstructured manner? Now, actually, that is very simple, at the same time, very creative for the parent. So, unstructured learning could be learning anything in the home environment in the way the child wants. Probably the child would learn the various shapes just by looking at different cookies in the house. The child might learn different colors from the kitchen cupboard. So if your child is interested in an unstructured learning, then you actually have a bonus in your hand. You have the ability to teach the child anything and everything under the sun, and in whichever way the child wants. One day the child might pick up a guitar and listen to the YouTube and play a song. That's perfectly fine. The child may not want to learn more than 5 songs. But the child might want to learn, say, an 8-year-old child may want to learn cooking. Just go ahead and teach. Of course, you need to take care of all the precautions, safety measures, but you would actually go along with your child to teach the child what the child wants in the way the child is interested to learn. And that is what will actually enrich and nourish the child. So it's very important for us to recognize what, how, when the child wants to learn, if we are interested in training our children as per the multiple intelligence. I hope this message and this small input is useful for you all. So long, until next time, see you, and thank you for listening.